Hello friends! Welcome back to the joy of painting 40K. I'm 𝓑𝓾𝓂 Sunday, and today we'll be painting a 𝓑𝓮. These mighty warriors are an essential part of the 𝓘 𝓜𝓮, known for their incredible strength and resilience. Let's dive into their world and start painting, shall we? Before we dive into painting, it's crucial to start with a good primer. Here I've already primed our 𝓑𝓮 with the Army Painter in matte black. The black base coat provides an excellent foundation, ensuring the paint will adhere well and giving us a dark, even surface to build upon. I'll demonstrate how to apply the primer now. The birds are singing, the bees are stinging, the 𝓑𝓮s are smashing. Today is a good day for priming. Look at that handsome fella. As you saw, applying the primer evenly and in thin coats ensures that we don't obscure any of the miniature's fine details. With our primer dry and set, we're ready to move on to the next step and to bring in our 𝓑𝓮 to life. Now we'll bring in the details with some dry brushing. We'll start with a light gray to cover the entire miniature, which will add a subtle highlight to the raised areas. Here I have Stonewall Gray from Game Color and my number 2 dry brush. 𝓑𝓮s are a crude and exceptionally resilient breed of abhuman, hailing from a number of high-gravity worlds. 𝓑𝓮s compensate for their stupidity with overwhelmingly physicality. The brutish creatures stand about 10 feet tall and can shrug off wounds that will kill an Imperial Guardsman several times over. These qualities mean that 𝓑𝓮s make exceptional shock troops and are often deployed on the front lines of battle. 𝓑𝓮s are easily confused, meaning they work best when given simple, straightforward missions, and their lack of personal hygiene borders on the criminal. However, once indoctrinated into the Imperial Creed, they are doggedly loyal, and their strength and resilience make them a potent weapon. It's fair to say that 𝓑𝓮s do have their limitations. Their equipment must be simple and exceptionally rugged, as anything within arm's reach is likely to see brief and violent service as an improvised club. Their heavily built Ripper guns must also be fitted with burst limiters to stop the 𝓑𝓮s from firing ceaselessly. 30 seconds of noisy excitement can easily leave these abhumans short of ammunition before a battle has even begun. See how the details start to emerge? It's like revealing hidden textures. 𝓑𝓮s might be tough, they have layers, just like this paint. After that, we'll be using white for the final highlights. Here, from Game Color, I have Dead White and my number 1 dry brush. When applying the white, we'll be using the high noon method. If you don't know what the high noon method is, I have a link right here on the screen to my previous video telling you what that is. So, now we're going to do high noon. So remember, it's top down, so the best way to really see where you're going or what the hottest part is going to be. So definitely it's going to be head, back of his armor, and the shield. You can kind of see it like that. And maybe even like a really hot spot on the top of the bludgeon right there. And then kind of bouncing light or kind of just cascades down on the side there. It might even hit a little bit of his boot. Okay. So this is an 𝓑𝓮. What's a 𝓑𝓮? Not to worry. Let's find out. The most obscene 𝓑𝓮s, known as 𝓑𝓮s, are clad in custom-made armor and carry crude assault weaponry that capitalizes on their abhuman stature and resilience. Some wield power mauls and buckler-like brute shields, while others march to battle, carrying simple but effective slab shields, locking together to form a mobile defense line. So deployed, these units provide their comrades with a wall of walking cover as they advance. 𝓑𝓮s take their duties very seriously, and will often form a line in the slightest sound of gunfire, which is the most inconvenient in crowded trenches. Yet, guardsmen advancing behind a 𝓑𝓮 squad swiftly forget such mishaps as shots whine harmlessly from the 𝓑𝓮 shields, leaving those soldiers crouched in their lee unharmed. Needless to say, casualties are high among the abhumans themselves, but the close-range bombardments of their grenadier gauntlets exact brutal revenge soon enough. The foe are left reeling and shell-shocked even before the maul-wielding 𝓑𝓮s charge into their midst and bludgeon the survivors into red paste. The colors we'll be using for our 𝓑𝓮 are Grim Black, Dark Wood, Beowulf Blue, Crusader Skin, and Pallid Bone. So if you know me, I like to go light to dark. As you can see in the back underneath his armor, there's a t-shirt showing right there. So that's what we're going to use with the Pallid Bone. And it could be a white t-shirt at one point, but with the battle and sweat and blood and gross stuff, you know, it's not going to be white. So we're going to use Pallid Bone instead. Go ahead and put it on in there. Okay, next up, to go along with the light family, we're going to go and do the Crusader Skin. It's going to be really cool, especially that scarification he has over here. I don't know if you could tell. Thank goodness for the dry brushing, you can. But he's got like these, I don't know, bolts maybe? Wait, do 𝓑𝓮s have a neck? Like, do you think that kind of counts as a neck, or is it just straight back to head? That's a good question. All right, that's it for his exposed skin. And don't forget, if you liked this video, crush that like button with 𝓑𝓮 strength. Call in reinforcements by subscribing, and let me know your battle stories in the comments. Okay, next up is Beowulf Blue. We're going to do that for his armor plate. Just this part, not this part. Okay, load up and enjoy. One neat trick I like to do with the loaded brush, you just kind of like push it in. You don't have to like very carefully go over. You can just kind of like push it in between. You just lay it flat and push it in between. You can get in between those pretty easily. Like 80% chance it always gets in there. I'll do it again. Ready? See? Got it right on in there. Lay it down, push it in. Lay down, push it in. Little trick. I wonder what, you see those 5 tallies? I wonder what he's counting. Maybe, get this, maybe that's not enemies. Maybe that's his kids. He's got 5 kids. That's how he keeps track of them. All right, next up are his pants. We're going to do dark wood. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the pants has belt loops. So those belt loops need to be brown as well, because they're attached to the pants, not the belt. In the 𝓑𝓾 universe, there's so much grit. It's like one big butt. That's just the 𝓑𝓮's life. They're a one cheek, no neck kind of race. These colors really bring our 𝓑𝓮 to life, making them ready for any battlefield. Speaking of battle, 𝓑𝓮s are known for their simplicity, but what they lack for in brains, they make up for in brawn and loyalty. 𝓑𝓮s are just 𝓑𝓮s who decided to upgrade their gear. All right, next up is the black. That is the Grim Black. Ooh, here we go. Went ahead and put that on my wet palette. Go ahead and get to it. Like I said, 40K is all about grit. If you ain't got grit, you ain't got the will to live. All right, and here it is after the second coat. You see a lot has popped. Next, we'll add some metallics to our 𝓑𝓮. Here I have broadsword silver for his armor, shield, and bludgeon. And we have polished silver to enhance any of the details I want to bring out. All right, so now for the polished silver. So I got my smaller tip brush. I'm still over here. I'm going to go ahead and do the bolts on his armor. I think that'd be really cool. And just like poke it, like boop, and boop, and boop. Yeah, it spreads a little bit. That kind of sucks. Try and clean it up, but you know what? You can just go with the blue. Just kind of clean that up a little bit. That's okay. See? Happy little adjustments. You remember that like weird scarification right there? I really want to put bolts in his arm, so I'm going to. To give our 𝓑𝓮 a final touch, we'll use an oil wash to create depth and realism. All right, so let's carefully apply it. First, I definitely want the shield because it's nice and shiny. It's too shiny. It needs to be battle worn. All right, let's do that for his little armor plate skirt thingy. So like I mentioned, I want to bring out that scar on his arm. So I'm going to use the warrior skin, which is a little bit darker than the crusader skin. I'm just going to kind of brush it on that part right there real quick. Let's just see. Oh yes, I like that. I'm going to go to 2 layers to stand out. So there's that. And there's those bolts in his arm. I want to do it around that too. I want to have that pop. And there we go, friends. Our 𝓑𝓮 is now fully painted and ready for the battlefield. I hope you enjoyed this painting adventure as much as I did. Remember to take your time, enjoy the process, and let your creativity shine. Until next time, happy painting.